Welcome to video 5 of Core Back Immersion, where I utilize it for my Revive Pelvic Floor Health Core Rehab. Hi, my name is Annie. Welcome back to my channel. Annie Pilates Physical Therapist. If you're new to my channel, I have my episode 1 and 2 to watch first before you proceed to 3, 4, and then currently 5 to revive your pelvic floor health. Postpartum women, if you're suffering from diastasis recti, umbilical hernia, or anything in between. If you have weak core, even you have it recently or many years ago, it's not too late to finally regain your pelvic floor health, your deep core activation. And in this video, we'll be doing a lovely yoga pose, especially the deep squat if you have limited mobility of your hips and your knees. And I'll be utilizing a physio ball to help support, at the same time challenge your deep core. And if you don't have a ball, you can still do this. Just grab a chair that you can hold on for support. And before we do our program, I would like you to listen to amazing testimonies of my lovely top 3 students who will be graduating on my Revive Pelvic Floor Health Core Rehab. They are one of my amazing students who diligently show up every single day on my videos. First, amazing recovery. Her name is Mona. Mona was suffering from a lot of pelvic pain. She has vaginismus, which is the tightness of her pelvic floor that is difficult for her to have any intimate moments where it causes pain. She attended a lot of sessions on her pelvic floor specialists in South Africa, where she lives. And unfortunately, after 4 weeks of sessions, there's no improvement. They just assessed her pelvic floor, tried to put the dilator on her and with a lot of pain, and told her to relax and take deep breaths. Unfortunately, that did not work. And she was suffering for 15 long years. Guess what happened? After she attended in 4 weeks of my session, she finally regained her functional pelvic floor. There's no more pain even at the level 4 of her dilator. It's just a little bit tightness now, but she still has 4 more weeks inside my program. She is very excited to have this unlimited access on my amazing videos. So watch her testimony right now.
Yes, but I feel stronger almost every day, and I do feel like taller and I feel stronger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you like the foam roller, the wall? What's your favorite so far?
So my favorite is the foam roller. I also like the wall. I don't like the Swiss ball.
Is it hard to balance?
It's hard to balance, and I feel like, especially when I'm doing the lunges on the Swiss ball, I feel like I'm not doing like an effective lunge as I would do if I was standing up.
Oh yeah, because it's the pelvic floor.
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit
Yeah.
the flexibility is different. Everyone is different flexibility. But you're from South Africa, right? Which part of South Africa?
From Durban.
Durban. And do you have any medical condition I should be aware of, like your pelvic floor health? Can you elaborate what's going on with your medical condition?
So I was in a car accident like 15 years ago, and I had a fracture of my femur, neck of femur, and on the left side, and tib fib and right ankle. So I still have the pins and plates in place and a nail to the femur. So restricted my movement. I still walk with a slight limp and balance. Like my right leg is the stronger leg. The left leg is weaker, and so yeah, balance is a bit of a problem with the left leg.
Oh, got it. And how's your deep core pelvic floor? Do you have babies? Do you have anything I should be aware of? Oh,
No, I don't have babies.
And-
I'm struggling with tight pelvic floor. Yeah.
Yes, because of that imbalance.
Yeah.
Yes. And so far, how's the tightness? Is it getting more flexible? It makes sense now, the ball, you don't like it. Because of that history.
You know, I've been using the dilators and like progressing. It's not painful anymore. It's just like a little bit. I've done, so I can go the 3 dilators all the way in. The 4th dilator can't go all the way in, but I'm going a little bit more than I did at the beginning, because previously the 4th one wouldn't go in at all. So I've progressed with that.
Wow, that's amazing. I think it's the femur fracture. It really affected your pelvic floor from the limp,
Yeah.
balance, and your pelvic floor is guarding you, was guarding the whole time. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That's a big deal. And I'm glad in the span of not even 2 months.
Yes.
It's finally working because you did therapy, right? You went to physical therapist.
I did therapy. I did physiotherapy. I also saw a pelvic floor therapist, and all she did was tell me to breathe and do abdominal massages. And like she said, go home, relax, and
Oh
do like
no!
abdominal massages.
Connected your femur bone, connected
Yeah.
the imbalance. It makes sense now.
Mhm.
And she's a pelvic floor therapist. Unfortunately, if you don't do mobility work, no matter how much you insert something, it's not gonna work.
Yeah. So I'm so glad
Wow.
I found you.
Aw, I'm so honored that you trust me. And how did you find me, by the way?
YouTube. So I
nice.
was looking for pelvic floor exercises on YouTube, and I tried a couple, wasn't happy with anything, but yours looked, different, especially the wall ones caught my eye, and I tried doing it, and I enjoyed it. And so every day I look forward to it, those 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I feel like I've accomplished something.
Yes, and then actually, it's gonna be 20 minutes soon. It's in week 6, there's more minutes. It gets harder, but
Yeah, okay.
it's not like we jump to 20 minutes. We slowly progress. If you notice, it's gentle in the beginning. It looks boring in the beginning, not too much action, but that's the purpose of it. You have to slowly connect, relax your body, not just say breathe at home, She didn't even show you how to breathe.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You wasted your time.
Yeah.
It made you feel terrible.
Wasted my time, wasted my money.
The way she approached you saying, just breathe, then show me how to breathe, right? She didn't even show you. She just forced you to breathe. And it's a mental thing, You have to really, like how I did it, inhale, exhale. It's a lot of repetitions, but guess what? Until your body, even though it sounds sometimes some of my followers make a comment saying, you talk so much. That's why I have to talk so much, because it's a verbal cueing. If I don't talk much, I just told you do it. So how you will do it? Someone has to guide. And the pelvic floor is finally lifting now. When you put the dilator, it's going up. It's going up.
Yes.
It's a beautiful. It's not painful now. It just takes time to, it's like stretching. I can't do forward splits yet. It takes time to do forward splits, right? You don't force a tight muscle to split or else you're going to fracture, right? So the same thing with now you're ready in the third, fourth, almost fourth dilator, right? So it's just almost too much. In a year, it's going to be beautiful as long as you're consistent. That's why it's unlimited access. You can always go back and keep practicing. It's like a dance move. The more you practice, it's like you can close your eyes. You don't have to look at the video. You can just hear my voice and you're just going to dance with me. And then as the video progresses, you can always go back to week 1 again to relearn to slow down. Because slowing down is the technique to really engage.
Yes.
So I'm glad you're loving the video, Mona, from South Africa. It's an honor. I'm reaching out thousands of women all over the world, and I'm glad you're healing your... Can you tell to the audience the name of the diagnosis you have?
Vaginismus.
Yes. So it's to explain it in anatomy, it's always so tight. It's hard to relax and open. And there's so many from trauma. I think your trauma is the anxiety that kicked in, plus the pain on your femur, plus the tightness, plus the fascia work. So the fascia work means if it's so tight on your hips, right? No matter how much we open, if you're not opening that hip, if you're not engaging the muscles, then your pelvic floor is imbalanced. Now that your hips are more functional, our body is like a biomechanic that is connected. From our toes, even our toe workout, right? I'm showing you some toe workout in my videos.
Yes.
It's amazing because the impact, if you don't have a cushion on your toes, there's no strength on your toes. Because I'm sure because of the limp, your toes are so weak on that side, right? Is it your right hip, right?
The left
the left hip.
It's the right ankle, left hip.
Oh, so that's a lot of imbalance. Both legs has no strength.
Yeah.
And now you're getting stronger using simple techniques. I'm glad you love it, Mona.
The next student is Gozde. Gozde is from Istanbul, and she's been suffering from diastasis recti postpartum that she had, and she has prolapse grade 2 level. And she was an acrobat before her, even during her prenatal, before she had her baby, she was still doing acrobatics without problem until she had a terrible labor that took 48 hours to accomplish and had C-section. So what happened? She has a lot of muscle imbalance and her pelvic floor is so weak. She's very flexible, but she was so pleasantly surprised that her hip internal rotators are very weak. She has no flexibility issues this time. It's the opposite of my other patient, Mona, but this time she needs that stability. That's why she was pleasantly surprised. In 4 weeks of my amazing Revive Pelvic Floor Core Rehab, she was able to go back to the studio and was able to have more endurance. We call that core endurance, and was able to do her usual activities as an acrobat for 2 hours. And she was so happy. She has not experiencing any pain and her pelvic floor is finally activating. Watch her amazing testimony over here.
Hi, Gozde. Welcome to Revive Pelvic Floor Core Rehab. So far, so good with the program. I could see you're doing great.
Yes, I'm doing it every day. I think I missed only 2 days, and one of them was New Year's. So
Yes, no worries. We have to see families too, right? And you're from Istanbul.
yes,
Yay, because I saw that I was concerned that it looked like you stopped a little bit. That's why I emailed you and want to catch up. And I'm glad you just had a little bit situation, right? Something like with
yeah.
your...
I think my phone, like sometimes, like the screen doesn't work, and I try to press the complete button and it doesn't.
Oh,
And then
okay.
I just go to the next one. But I already did that one, even though I couldn't press the complete.
Yes. Can you explain to our audience what's your medical condition, to share a little bit why you joined my Revive Pelvic Floor Core Rehab?
Well, I had level 2 prolapse when I first had my birth, which was 4.5 years ago. And
That's his first birth. First.
Yes, only one. I only
I have two, so I'm...
That was enough.
And how old? She's 4 years old now.
Yes, 4.5.
4.5.
And I had more than 4 fingers gap in between my abs. So diastasis recti, I had diastasis recti.
On the lower part, right? In the lower?
Yes, but it was a large one. So it wasn't like just the lower, like my belly button. It was my belly button and a little bit up.
So it goes near the diaphragm.
Yeah. Yes, because they had to like push over here, right in between my ribs. They pushed a lot with their elbows and not properly. So from here up until my belly button, it was separated. And I think some of the nerves also got damaged. I didn't have a feeling for a long time over there. And I think there was a rip as well. So there was kind of like umbilical hernia, but it didn't like properly open.
Yes.
But it was like there was occasionally something was coming out and then it went back in.
Yeah.
So I got all of them, I think.
I had them out too. But it's normal, no C-section?
No,
yeah.
It was, well, I mean, I wouldn't call it normal because except the C-section, I had all of the above, everything that was done.
Yes, that's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it was 48 hours too, so it wasn't.
Yes, I went through 3 days in labor.
That's not fun.
It was not fun. No food for 3 days. You're not allowed to eat. Ice chips only, right? Because you don't want to...
I eat at some point. I think I was going to lose my mind and they gave me nuts. So
yeah, it was not safe because they were risking when you vomited it out and you could choke. But yeah, I still vomited and I almost choked on my own saliva.
Ouch.
Ouch. And then I'm thankful my mom was there and saw me convulsing there and can't breathe. They placed me on a room after they cleaned me up, not realizing I'm gonna vomit by myself. And my mom passed by and saw me choking.
Oh my God. They left you alone?
Yes, it was bad. Well, they were with me for a while, and then they thought I was just resting. I didn't realize I'm gonna vomit there. It didn't happen. Like, it happened 2 hours later. You know what I mean? Like, after 3 days of no food, exhaustion, trying to do normal delivery, squatting, doing my deep squat, But if it's not opening up to 4 centimeter, after the third day, finally, the doctor said we'll do C-section, but they made the mistake of waiting too long as well. But the C-section, the 3 days labor, the diastasis recti, the umbilical hernia, all the pressure points, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And thank God I healed, but it took me a while also, just to let you know, because I can't even walk in the treadmill for 5 minutes in the first 6 months. That's how deconditioned I was.
I could not hold either. Like I was a professional athlete and acrobat.
Yes.
When like before I gave birth, and I was doing like handstands when I was 7 months pregnant.
Wow.
No problem. Like it was all still comfortable because I was like
Strong.
training 5 6 hours a day. And then I gave birth, and I like for 2 months I couldn't sit. And when I was laying down, I couldn't lift even like one leg.
Yeah.
Almost.
I can't even get up. I have to roll myself.
Yeah.
There's pain too. There's pain.
Yes.
But so far, you've been doing up to week 4 now. How's the program so far? I'm looking at the computer here.
It's great. I mean, even like I can see the difference that it makes. And I have done a lot of work previously, like my more than 4 finger gap was down to 1 finger.
Yes.
From what I was doing previously, but it didn't help for some reason to properly engage my pelvic floor.
Yes.
Like I went to a lot of specialists before you.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and it didn't help. And I tried all of these like different breath techniques, and every single one made like a little tiny bit of difference, but I didn't feel like I kind of feel like you should at some point start feeling the automatic engagement of like start like get up off of the couch and start to do something. I didn't have that. Like I still I was feeling like there's like nothing.
There was like dead muscles hanging. That's why it prolapse. It was like the gravity pulls it down. There's nothing to hold it up to contract. But now, how are you feeling though? You felt
I'm feeling great right now. And even like I was talking to my sister, and she was like, you know what, maybe you should come to the studio at some point. Maybe we'll just roll around the floor. And I felt up for it, but I was very careful like to do a proper warm-up before, like with the day 10-minute daily exercise that I do from your program. And then I just started slowly doing something, and it's great and it's amazing. And it's like I could feel my body engaging, like my core is working. I wasn't even tired after. I didn't even realize like we were just playing for 2 hours in the studio. Yeah.
That's a big leaps and bounds of core endurance.
Definitely. And I'm not like, before that I wasn't pushing it. I was only doing your program. I think I'm at like at the end of 4 weeks now, and just walking, and I did nothing else. Like I dropped all workouts or like whatever's. So I just like with just 10 minutes every day and a little bit walking. Mostly uphill, like that was. And I was like trying to be more mindful of my breathing pattern when I was walking too. Like try to feel like if there is engagement or not.
You really learned a lot of my never-ending inhale, exhale of my videos, even though it's annoying.
No, it's definitely.
It's a lot of verbal cues. Some of my, comments. You talk so much. I need to talk.
Yeah.
Or else you will let go. That breath is the pinnacle of the program. If you notice, I never end. Even you'll see it in week 5, week 6, you'll see I'm still talking about breathing. I'm not speeding it up, but it's going to get faster so we can cover more. It's going to be longer videos in the future to get that goal for handstands again, with that core strength, with confidence again, and making sure there's no pain there also when you have your intimacy with your husband or whatever your goal is.
Well,
but I'm so happy that you're seeing progress. Just imagine the function of pelvic floor is not just for core strength. You need to able to relax it because she has that tightness that she can't open. And she loved my butterfly.
My problem was the opposite actually.
Oh, you're so flexible.
Because my hips I don't know if you will understand this because it's in European numbers, but my hips were 34 before, like I gave birth, and now they're 38.
Oh,
so it's like,
yeah, that's 4 centimeter.
it's
9
like,
centimeter. That's a
yeah,
big
my
change.
pelvic floor is like from here.
Wide
this
open.
big,
Wide
just
open.
yeah, it's open.
It's so overstretched because you're doing acrobatics. So you're always
Yeah.
splitting and everything, right?
Yeah.
That's why.
And I was
That's
feeling
why
like,
hypermobility is not good too. Too much flexibility. We need to build stability, control, and I believe in flexibility too. But you have to have control on it. It makes sense now why it's dropping because there's nothing coming in this time. The opposite. So that's the beauty about my program. If you notice, I squeeze also before we relax. We squeeze and relax. I'm so
yes, definitely. And doing like especially like when you were, I think the part where I realized the most difference in that regard was you were doing the 90-90 position on the floor, and you were doing internal rotation with the breath.
Yeah.
And then I felt like because I've never like even like thought of doing the breath work with an internal rotated hip. But that's what I need because it's like it has gotten so much larger.
Yes,
now
you did too much external rotation.
Yeah.
You need to do the opposite. Actually, it's like a shoulder because our hip is like our shoulder on the upper body. Lower body is the hip, the ball and socket.
Yeah.
And most patients with a frozen shoulder, you heard about the frozen shoulder when they can't brush their hair, they can't put their bra. They always focus on the external rotation like this. They forget reaching back like this.
Yeah.
You are the reaching back. You forgot to do. You're good on this.
Yeah.
On the shoulder. You don't know how to reach back on your bra. So because that internal rotation is important on walking actually. That's why you're going uphill walking. When you propel, when you kick off, your hip has a tendency to internal rotate a little bit. But if you're always open, the pelvic floor gets the damage. You need to learn to internal rotate to protect it. It makes sense now, right? I'm glad you're finding out a lot of techniques from my program. And the wall Pilates is good for you because you're already in that against gravity. So your pelvic floor is not pushing out, you're in and you're strengthening it in an in position.
Yes, definitely. I love the wall Pilates sections. Like I'm waiting for it. And it's like, today it's wall, yeah.
Yes. And sometimes I skip there. It's not every day 4 is the wall. There's sometimes it's ending. Sometimes welcome is the beginning of our week. We're gonna do wall first, or day 2 is our wall. In week 5, day 2 is wall. So you're getting there. And you did the week 4 until day 4. You're almost at the week 5 with the foam roller and the thoracic spine for your posture, which is good for you with the ankle weights.
That's great.
And then we're going to do some standing yoga, which is a big deal for your pelvic floor because this will help stability. You'll be surprised balancing on one leg is hard for you, I think. Because of
we'll see. Probably. On one side anyway.
Yeah, because the yoga we did so far in week 3, you haven't done the standing yet. This is the first standing this week.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel it. You might need the countertop to hold on because we're still building the strength. It takes time to build strength, but in 4 weeks you see the dramatic improvement. Just imagine in 2 hours you were playing in the studio without problem. Just imagine when you increase the stability of your hips and your pelvis, then you're gonna be maybe 4 hours someday. Just like a kid again.
Hopefully, because my goal is like I want to just like physiotherapists, and to be honest, there's not many in Turkey that understands about pelvic health. But like
in Istanbul, right? Istanbul.
Yes, Istanbul.
There's not a lot of therapists there.
Not a lot that understands pelvic health. Like there's a lot of great physiotherapists, but they don't understand about pelvic floor. I think that's like an extra thing that they don't teach here for some reason. I don't understand. Like I was going to them and I was saying, look, I need to be able to hold onto a bar with my hands and pull my knees up and invert, go upside down without any problem. Like this is what I want to do. And they were like, maybe you can't from here.
It's almost sounded like my other student I just spoke earlier. Like Just breathe and relax, go home. What? Why did I go to this therapist? I'm paying expensively too. Expensive. It's a one-on-one session.
Definitely.
And they just told you no exercises given, just breathe and kegels and go home. What a terrible therapist. No hip mobility, not checking her history of her fractured hip before or her right ankle, not analyzing her walk. It makes sense, right? Sometimes you have to understand your patient. And she was so surprised. I don't have to touch her to open her pelvic floor, you know? It's all online, just breathing.
Yes.
Now she knows how to breathe. Now she understands the inhale, exhale. No one showed her that. They just told her breathe. Like, show me how to breathe. How to zip.
Well, they did show me, but the one thing about yours was different. Like, they never told me about like zipping from down up. Like, that made a significant difference in my opinion.
Actually, I've seen it all too. Some patients, because when they exhale, instead of they're pushing down towards the pelvic floor. They're tightening it from the upper abs, going to the navel, going to lower abs. And then your pelvic floor gets worse when you breathe wrong.
Yeah.
And then the zipping up like a jean, you really could feel like you're zipping up a tight jean, you know?
Yes.
It's a lot of mental. And I'm glad you love that cueing, even though it's non-stop talking in my...
But it's always a good reminder, because sometimes, especially now,
you just move your hips, right? Sometimes, okay, open your hip to the side, go back center, and then there's no more cueing. Then you're just pushing your pelvic floor down again.
Yeah.
I know it's nonstop. I always get thirsty after my videos because I breathe out with you guys too, and then I talk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of multitasking. It's like dancing.
Definitely, a lot of it.
That's good. I'm glad you love it. How do you say your name again?
Gokce.
Gozde. It's just I have to, because in the, you know, it's a different language with an E with that thing.
You can see and the dot under.
Beautiful, Gozde.
Yeah.
Beautiful name. And I'm glad you're feeling a big change on your pelvic floor health. You're finally engaging, and the prolapse will come along. Just be patient on it. And the diastasis recti with proper nutrition, making sure you eat a lot of protein to build muscle.
I don't have to do anything to keep my butt, but
that's good. That's good. That's why you can do acrobatics.
Yes.
Nice meeting you, Gozde. It was a blessing to hear your recovery. I'll reach out to you again, email you when we can meet again on a Saturday like this time.
Okay, great.
Then
Thank
I'll let you know when you're ready to lift weights. I think you're getting closer. Really well. Really well. Good job. Keep up.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon, okay? Have a great week.
And the last student who's gonna share her lovely testimony is Cece. Cece is an amazing student. She's been diligently working with her core strength. She had 2 babies back to back, and she's suffering from diastasis recti, umbilical hernia, and a lot of weakness on her pelvic floor with difficulty controlling her bladder. And she was so pleasantly surprised that she can control her bladder much better with no problem, not needing to go to the restroom a lot since she started the program. So watch Cece's amazing recovery in this video.
It's going well. As you can see, I was behind, but I want this so badly. So I'm doing all that I can to catch up. So it coincided with just not feeling well. Sometimes I have issues with like my joints popping, and we're trying to figure out what it is. I don't know if it's APS or something like that, but you know, during pregnancy, I took you know, the blood thinners. I hate needles, but I had to do that every day.
Yes. That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. I'm trying to manage it. So I felt really out of it, but I've been trying to fight it. And then this past week, I've left academia. I used to be a professor.
Oh, wow.
It just was just too much stress. And so I'm going into clinical work. And so I had training this entire week. And so, yeah.
That's why you're very busy. Yeah.
I've been busy, but I want it so badly. And so I set my intentions. I get up in the morning. This week was a little spotty, but with the training, but I get up in the morning. I have my, like, you know, my little heater on, my lights on, my aromatherapy. And so I just thank you for the service that you're providing. It has been a teacher, and I start feeling a tightness that I haven't had before. And I just feel like it's good. So I have my photos. I can send it to you via email. They're not the greatest, but I'm working hard. And so I'm downstairs now. I have my treadmill there. I have my bike upstairs. You know, I'm working for it because I want it. So
yes. And how's the deep core activation? Can you feel all those muscles that you never had realized it's been there needing to be revived?
Yes, I feel it for sure. It feels really good. One of the other things, and you know, I know what you said about more protein and the cardio and things along those lines. And I feel like in conjunction with that, you know, I feel like I feel a lot tighter. But the thing I like about your training is that it's a lot deeper, and it feels like it's actually healing things that have been disturbed, because 2020, I was pregnant. And then I was pregnant again by the end of 2021.
Oh, it's a year. Oh my, I didn't know that you're back to back.
So I, like, when I said I'm working for it, and it wasn't after. So my first was, it was a lot. It was a C-section. I did not want that. I did not plan for it.
Me too. Yeah, I went through that too. I didn't plan. I was in labor for 3 days.
Okay. Yeah.
Were you in labor long too and try your best?
I did. I tried my best. But when I was there, all the things I learned, I'm on my balance ball, you know, all of this stuff.
I did the squatting, the deep squat that I do. Nothing. I wasn't opening. I was up to 4 centimeters after 3 days with Pitocin. It was crazy. I remember looking back, I tortured myself.
We made it though. We made it, but it's
we made it. Our babies are healthy, right? That's as long
healthy. As they're healthy. They're healthy. And so then my second clear, that is like, oh my gosh, that's just like my little nugget. She was a vaginal birth, and I
wow, like you were able to do a VBAC.
I did a VBAC.
I was planning to do VBAC, but my husband said no. Even though I felt I was opening. Because he was so afraid of 3 days in labor. It was dangerous.
Okay, I hear you. Yeah. So yeah, we did it, and but with her, oh my goodness. So
So you have a boy and a girl.
No, I had 2 girls. I have 2 girls.
I have a boy and a girl. Yeah.
You have a boy. Okay, so you have So we're definitely a girl family. We're a girly girl. I cut all my hair off recently just because with some of the stuff with Clear, I had like I never heard of this before, like intracranial hypertension.
Yes.
So when it was irritating me, it was like I don't want anything touching me. So I like my little curls, so I cut it all off. So
wow, because they pull now, right? They pull. Yeah.
Just kind of feeling just like any tension from any like elaborate,
it triggers
ponytails. Yeah. So I love it. I'm loving this shirt. I'm gonna get it colored in a few weeks. I had physical complications with Claire like afterwards. So that's when I noticed the bladder. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So you had that bladder incontinence on the second time.
Yes.
Because unfortunately the second time around I got weaker too. My second, I have more pain on my PP, my pelvic pain.
Yes.
Sharp pain stabbing there, all the time. Every step you make was sharp pain, right?
Yes.
That too.
Yes, I'm so glad you're the first person that could confirm that, because I went to the doctor. It was a mess. And, it was just kind of like, the generic thing, like, okay, you're going to feel better. It's just healing. And I was like,
no,
I mean,
a lot of with all the scar tissues, especially we get cut both ways, vertical inside and horizontal on the bikini cut. So we got cut this way, stretch it out this way. Just imagine. And then the VBAC, I think because you did it again, but this time there's a lot of scar tissue from the first back to back. You weren't able to prepare yourself. And that's why there's a lot of pain. And then your bladder, of course, became unbalanced. Instead of an upside down umbrella like this, became because of the scar tissue there, you're leaning forward. It pulls it towards in the front. So it's like spilling the coffee. If you have
when you're doing that. Okay.
So that's why we need to reconnect to our core, a lot of breath work, a lot of expanding. When you expand, when you inhale, you're giving that space. It's like a gentle massage. It felt so good, right? It's amazing.
Yes.
Finally, you're healing in a short span of few weeks. I'm so proud of you. How's the bladder? You emailed me. You said that you have less going to the restroom or something at night, right?
I don't. Did I include
it's a different patient. So sorry.
Okay, no, it's okay. Because I did want to say that too. I've noticed that as well. I was like, I don't know if I said that, but it's true. I hated that part. Sometimes I would say like before my monthly, like that week before my monthly, I
Yes.
feel like I have to go more just in general, maybe because things are kind of like preparing or growing or what, I don't even know.
Well, before the monthly period, what happens? Our hormone change. So what happened? Our estrogen, which is our hormone to keep us beautiful and plump, and it also helps decrease inflammation, estrogen. When our estrogen slowly drops to prepare for a menstruation, it drops. It has to drop so that the progesterone, which is a hormone for shedding, goes up. And then that's when our ligaments and tendons get softer. It gets a little bit unstable. So our bladder and everything becomes unstable, unfortunately. It makes sense now why our hormones are critical. That's why with exercises, don't do high impact exercises like running so much before your period. It's best just to walk, just do Pilates, because you have to listen to your cycle. So when I go crazy on my lifting weights, on my peak, my ovulation days, which is when you're ready to get pregnant. If you're ready. Just kidding. I'm just letting you know. If you
I'm like, I think I'm done with, but you know, it's because Claire, I just had her. When I had her, it just changed everything for me. And I was so satisfied. Like we bonded so much. I'm like, I can't even imagine having another kid after, he's really awesome. But no, so I do feel that improvement when I don't like outside of those weeks, because I did not like having to get up all the time and it I'm disrupting the house and I walk through the hall, to the bathroom. I didn't like that at all. So I do feel a lot better. And then there are some times during the day, I could just be doing something, I'm fortunately with this new job, I'm able to work from home. So, I could be sitting and I'm like activating and, stuff like that, making sure. And I feel the difference, and I couldn't feel that difference. I couldn't feel it months ago. And it really knocked my self-esteem. I just was like, I don't even know if I didn't want to be intimate with my husband. I don't have my ring on because, I jumped out the shower, lotioned and whatever. But with my husband, Annie, I didn't have confidence. And just over these last few weeks, I'm like, I feel like that I didn't feel like in months and months. And I had her
to reconnect again. And that's important for your marriage too. I'm glad you have that confidence, you have the strength back, because that's important. The functionality of our pelvic floor is not just for giving birth, to open up. It's the connection with our husband. It's our confidence to hold our body, to hold our bladder, and even taking care of our babies, So you feel so much stronger lifting. You feel good, right? How heavy is your babies?
Oh my goodness. I don't even know that. I feel like Claire is just growing in leaps and bounds, but I know that she is about 18 months and Grace just turned 3. So I probably need to, get them weigh. I know I have the old I probably should weigh them. But no, but it's just it's been a journey. And I when I originally
You've been very good though. You finished up to week 4. I could see the progress of my clients.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm working hard. The only thing I skipped over was the wall because I have to go back to finish the wall because it's so weird. It's not a cluttered house. But
it's hard to find a wall.
I was like, I have to find a wall. And one of the walls that I did, it's going to be in the nursery. I was like, I cannot disturb her, but it works. It's not hard. I just slide things over and I'm able to do it. And it's perfect. It's the perfect space. So I'll go back and do that. And I'm fighting
it's every day it's different. Do you notice that? So it's not boring. Every day.
It's really good. I love it. And I love your teaching.
Did you find me in Instagram?
No, I found you on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I found you on YouTube. I'm forgetting I think I was looking just for things that would help for just the
Have you been following me for a while? I'm just curious because this is a new course.
No, it's okay. I've been following you probably from around the time, maybe 2022, maybe that fall of 2022.
Oh, so it's been 2 years. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, so I started I can tell you the 2 videos. Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to pop over to YouTube.
I'm just curious because this is my very first course for postpartum because I have the back masterclass. I'm sure you're aware about that too. But this one is different.
This one, it was your diastasis. Recti. Oh my goodness. You were the first person who I feel like, and I had to click over to my tab to, it's that one. I love it because I like using my weights. You were the only person who did it safely, and I didn't feel like I did it myself. And I was like, what are these other people doing? It's just too much, especially
too much. They're just doing it for views. And
But
I have to be the voice. I have to be the voice for the medical community because I'm a physical therapist, and there's a lot of them. They're not even therapists, and they're just giving crazy moves. That's danger in my eyes because I know what the body works. I've treated postpartum women in my workplace. That's not how it works, man. And maybe you never gave birth. You don't know how it felt. You never had C-section. You can't do that.
Exactly. I'm like, what are they doing? And it made me feel like
the harder it is, the better.
The better.
Actually, breath work. Pelvic floor is not like the biceps. It's not your quads. It's not your butt cheeks. It's inside. You don't have to do crazy jumping around. Like they do high impact. And that could destroy your pelvic floor. That's why when I said before your period, you don't have to go crazy. Listen to your body. There's a lot of guru out there who look six packs, but guess what? Sometimes they have pelvic floor issues. They ended up yes. And I've seen bodybuilders, women, beautiful muscles. They squat, they pee. There's this one lady looks muscular and beautiful outside. She didn't even wear a pad, and she said the gym guru got these people around me should accept me for who I am. And she squatted, pee like a bucket, and then did another squat, pee like a bucket. And she's only on her early 20s, and she showed it on her own social media platform to talk about it. That says accept her normal diagnosis. That I think she needs the pelvic floor therapy first before she that's not normal, that's not functional, and it's not sanitary on the gym mats that you're standing, and there's guys behind her watching her like this part of normal life. So they're not even like that. I think she's doing it every day, every time she's there.
Oh my goodness.
Like there's no more being a lady. Even a man won't do that. So unfortunately, we should not accept that. We should accept that what's normal. Hygiene is important in the gym. Be mindful of people around you. And why blast it in social media saying part of me who I am? That's not normal. Actually, you have to check by the doctor. It's still fixable if you do proper breath work and not too high impact, because unfortunately we're not a man. We're a lady with a hole. That's not as stable as a man who could do heavier weights. I believe in doing heavier weights if you can control your bladder, you can control your pelvic floor, and then go to the next level. If you want to challenge your glutes, your hamstrings, whatever you want to, if that's your goal, that's fine. Unfortunately, there's so much gym gurus out there you can see. And their program is lifting weights for postpartum. That's why when I saw a lot of that in social media, because I'm in social media, now I have to make a course. I have to these people selling courses. The first program is lifting weights to get big butts, big legs, to go back to their beautiful body again. Like,
and not doing the repair and the healing like you're doing.
Repair properly, or else when they decide to have babies again, they're gonna have trouble.
So
functionality is so important before aesthetics. I believe in that. I don't have six packs, but I'm strong inside. That's the most important thing. I want to age gracefully. So when I turn 70, I don't have a pad or an incontinence pad. It happens as we age. So we're already early age of our life. So when we get older, we don't have trouble like that. The bladder control. I'm glad you love it.
I love it. And I love the fact that you were like a breath of fresh air. When you had the, so there are two that I always go to. I know I'm doing the course and I'm focused on just catching up, but the two that had helped me so much before you had released the course, was, so for diastasis recti, you have one with the band.
You have diastasis recti, by the way?
I do.
How's this? Do you know the space? How big is your space?
I don't know the space. I was too chicken to go in there and do it. And then when I did my when you go back for the follow-up, she never really did that. I had the doctor with my first daughter who did it, but I was like, I didn't have any separation. I really with Grace, but with Claire I did. I just have more of the coning now.
Oh, that's good news. Yeah, you're healing.
Oh, okay. So I'm here. Okay, good. So that makes me feel better. But so I love when you had the lighter weights and like you do some of the ones we kind of go over our heads slowly. I just love that. Like I feel like I'm stronger, but I feel like
On
I'm
the upper,
connecting.
because your diastasis is higher, right? Near your
Yes.
yes. And that's actually easier to fix.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. You make me feel so much better. So it's that. And then I know that in terms of just having that, like that pooch, I never had that before. It was like kind of hanging. I'm like, I'm working so hard to just get that done around. But I'm just glad that you provided it because it came at a time when like I really needed those resources. And I trusted you because of the other videos. Like I kept going back to your videos. You know, sometimes you're like, let me try this other one. I'm like, that hurts. What are these people doing? You know, and before the kids, my husband, he's into lifting, he's into all of that stuff. And so we would go to the gym. We have the gym. He goes into the on this wall through here is our garage. So he like works out in there. I have fitness stuff here. So we care about that and we want to pattern that for our girls. It really matters to me that, you know, they see that their mother, you know, really cared and I cared about healing myself and they can be proud of me and they can see that I made a difference.
I'm sure they're really inspired actually. Even their little babies, they could see. Actually, my kids, that's why they're trying their best too. My daughter's now in gymnastics and she's trying her best. And my son is in martial arts. So I try to influence them to better themselves, to be confident. And that will make them better citizens in the world too, right?
Yes.
You put something to love yourself. This is loving yourself.
Yeah. And thank you.
It's okay to love
confidence back.
So you can love more. You love yourself, love more to your babies, to your husband, who's a baby too.
Yeah. He sure is. He sure is. And I think he sees it too. Like he sees like, you know, the commitment. He can tell because he's helped me over the years with the APS stuff when it's those weird flare ups. But he sees, you know, he's like, okay, all right, girls, mom is doing her stuff, you know. But usually I try as much as I can. I try to get up before they get up because you know how it is when you're dealing with little kids. But it's giving me my confidence back. It's something I can look forward to. And that's why I was telling him, I was like, oh, this training, you know, it's a lot. But I know like my first 2 days of training, I think I was able to get for work training, I was able to do your training. And I said, this is going to be good, you know, for my schedule, you know, to get up, do this. I do, you know, I'm a woman of faith. I get up, I do my devotions and stuff like that.
That's what I do too. I'm a woman of faith too. Every day in the morning. And actually, when your kids are a little bit older, you can do devotion as a family. Every night we've been doing devotions. And I wish, looking back, I wish I did more, not just once a week with my babies. I wish I did it. I thought they remember.
They remember. Yeah. And when we pray, even Claire right now, and she's like 18 months, she says, amen. You know, we get to the end, I'm like, yes.
And with this price in 5 years, they'll talk more and they'll be expressing their faith. And it's beautiful because you know how Jesus said, the kingdom of God is in the children. They're so pure and innocent. They have when you read the Bible, we got instilled with some worries already, a little bit of anxiety because of what we went through in life. But they're so pure. Their faith is so big. It's so massive that I'm learning from them.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. They teach me so much too. And even on the hard days, it's a reminder, you know, like I said, I just had such a strong connection with Claire and she'll just look at me. She'll just say, mama, you know, and it just, but it's like a knowing, like she knows. And it just reminds me, you know who you are. You're a woman of faith. God's got you. He's got, you know, your family. And this is great. And that's why I'm glad that I was, you know, I found or was led to your teachings because it's important to heal our bodies as women. And no one's talking about this.
Giving me goosebumps just saying those words. It's like, you know, as a woman of faith who loves Jesus as her Lord and personal Savior, to be connected with someone, because I've been doing Zoom calls with Back Masterclass to hear it from today. So I'm so excited to meet the other ladies today. Someone is from South Africa, one is from Istanbul.
Wow.
And then I'm not sure the other two ladies where they're from, but the other one I had a hard time making a schedule because it's a different time zone, you know?
Yes,
I'm so blessed and honored to be reaching out thousands of women all over the world who found me online. God called me to do this when he told me 2019 to open my first video, but I was so afraid, but the enemy was putting fear in my head, but God removed it. I used my iPhone 6 first video and that's it. I did my first Pilates with my iPhone 6.
Wow.
After, I know, right? After a lot of debacle in my head, don't be afraid. Open up yourself. You have to be of service.
Yes, yes,
Even though
yes.
it was hard to understand what I went through in my life, from postpartum difficulties, complications,
Mm,
diastasis recti, umbilical hernia, C-sections, and gaining 65 pounds from my pregnancy because of bed rest. I told you that, right? I'm sure you see
yes,
that in my email.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I went through a car accident where I fractured my chest on top of it. Yeah. And after a year of healing
Yeah.
and the value of my life, and then God showed me, I'm going to show you to share. You have to share this. And then I'm going to the valley, out of the valley by sharing. When I was healing in my videos, I was still healing too, doing the videos to heal from my accident, the car accident.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness.
I'm sure you're not aware because you're more the postpartum only. That's for my back masterclass. That's why I started with the back
That's
masterclass.
why you did it. Oh, I see. Okay.
After my poor posture, protecting my chest because I can't even take deep breaths. Actually, it took me 6 months to be able to take deep breaths to open my chest because I have to heal the bone first, right?
Yes. Yes. Oh
So
my goodness.
yeah, after a year of recovery, that's when I was still healing actually in my first viewed videos of my channel. My first year is a lot of learning, of myself, of healing from an injury, from a major car accident.
I'm glad you're here and stronger and you're in.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Thank
I'm
God
so
someone
glad.
rescued me out of the water, out of that. It was hailing, and then someone lifted me out of my passenger seat. It was dark times, but it became a purpose in my life.
Yeah.
Or else there's no YouTube channel. There's not, if I didn't went through that.
My goodness. Okay.
Because I was like, a therapist, living my life.
Yeah.
But because life and death, there could be no more tomorrow for me. So
yeah,
I could leave a legacy on earth if tomorrow's my last day, At least I
Yeah.
have 700 videos now online.
And helping all these mamas, babies, husbands,
I know,
wives.
right?
Yeah, and that's just amazing. I'm sorry that happened.
Yes, but it's a
hear your
blessing in disguise.
testimony. I hear the testimony in that. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's why sometimes I share this online. Depends on the student, and I know you believe on what the Lord has planned for us. Everyone in the Bible stories, they went through hardships from Joseph, Abraham. They have to have the faith, the obedience. You hear a voice, you do it.
Yes. Exactly.
When they told me to open it January 1st, actually January 1st, you look at my channel, it says January 1st, 2019, and there's no video until April. I was still a little bit disobedient,
Okay, but you're here, you're doing it.
And then when I uploaded my first video, there's no more looking back. I had to learn how to edit. I did everything by myself. Yes, it's like learning a new skill I never did before. Everything was sleeping until 3 a.m. every night, so I know how to edit a 10-minute video that took me 3 days and 3 sleepless nights
to put together. Yeah. Oh
until now I could do 4 videos in 2 hours. That's fast now because God instilled me a lot of creativity flow that I enjoy editing now, and it's so easy now because of repetition. It's like working out.
Yes,
easy to work out now.
And you're helping so many people more than you would have just in a local practice. You're helping us around the world. That is powerful.
Cece, right? Is your nickname Cece?
Yeah, I say Cece, but my full name is Sharice Lepchak. So
should I call you Cece or Sharice?
Yes, you can call me Cece. That's cool. I go with Cece. It's all good. Yeah.
It's a pleasure meeting you, and I'll see you in a few weeks. Keep up the good work. It's gonna get harder, okay? It's gonna progress.
It's okay. I'm ready. And now that speaking, it encourages me even more because I'm gonna do my homework.
I'm glad I reached out to you. I'm glad because I saw you stop at 4 weeks and it's already 6 weeks. I thought something happened. Some of my patients got sick with COVID. That's why.
No, it was just the APS complications earlier and then the work stuff. And so moving past that, once I get past, like sometimes I have those flare-ups, but once I get past those flare-ups, I'm just like ready. I'm like, I have to do this and that. And so,
don't worry, pace yourself. And it's okay to go back to week 3 to slowly build it up again if you want. That's fine.
Thank you so
much.
Have
a great week.
God bless you.
Happy birthday.
I'm hoping you enjoyed the lovely testimonies of my 3 lovely ladies. So let's begin our lovely beginner yoga flow, utilizing the ball for those who can't do malasana or deep Asian squat, which is an amazing squat that you can incorporate to help open, lengthen, tight pelvic floor, at the same time help control your bladder. With this positioning, sometimes if you have hip and knee instability or weakness, the ball will be an amazing tool so you can do some internal and external rotation while you're in deep squat. So before we start that, let's start in standing position with your feet together, toes slightly apart, and we're going to start strengthening our ankles and your toes. It's important to bring strength back on those toes, because without the strength on those toes, there's less absorption on your pelvic floor. There's going to be more strength on your toes to be the cushioning when you have an impact stepping down on the ground. So let's begin placing your hands on your side. Let's start with heel raises. As you exhale up, zip it up. Don't forget your breathing. Inhale down, belly rise, rib cage to the side, zip it up. As you breathe out, as you lift your heels up. Inhale, it's nice to warm up your toes and your ankles before we go all the way down to the floor so you don't lose your balance, giving that proprioceptive feedback. 2 more to go. Last one. Well done. Now we're going to slowly open your feet apart with your toes slightly 45-degree angle, so to open up and engage your hip external rotators. We're going to slowly side to side, hip lunges to warm up your hips. Breathe out as you lean on one side. Dynamic stretching. Breathe in, breathe out. As you breathe in, you relax your core, and then as you breathe out, you zip it up. 4 more. Feel that on your hip groin area. Slightly lean to open up further. Last one. Well done. Now we're going to step out further out. Now we're a little bit more open, and we're going to do some warrior. Warrior is a good technique to have that stability in standing, lifting both arms to the side, elbows stretch out, fingers pointing away, and then we're going to turn your head to the right first as you slightly bend your right knee and lean towards the right as you breathe out. Keeping that pelvis not anterior tilt but posterior, a little bit tilting in. When you do that, you're going to feel a deeper stretch on your hip groin area. So slowly lean further as you breathe out. Hold this for 2 deep breaths. And now we're going to open that left side. Lean on your right thigh with your right elbow as you slowly lift your left hand, pointing up to the heavens, opening that left hip and left rib cage area, and hold it in 3 deep breaths. As you inhale, exhale, overhead stretch. I'm pointing it towards the right, and I'm following my eye gaze towards my right left hand as I point it to the right. So I'm looking up, diagonal, get that balance. Hold this in 3 deep breaths. Last deep breath in. And then let's go back to warrior. As you place your hands level to your shoulder, as you lean continuously to the right. If you can go further down, that's great, to open that hip groin area on your left and strengthen your right thigh and hip flexors. Get your balance, inhale. As you exhale, place your left hand behind the small of your back as you slowly reverse warrior, as you lift your right hand pointing to the heavens and looking up, and stretch your right rib cage. Exhale, hold this for 3 deep breaths. Now let's go back to warrior, but this time I'm placing my toes, left toes towards the left and my right toes forward as I lean to the left, opening my right hip groin area this time and bending my left knee. Eye gaze towards the left hand and stretching my neck, opening my right side, my right shoulder, my right chest, As I breathe in and breathe out in 3 deep breaths. As you inhale, exhale, slowly lean your left thigh and lift your right hand pointing to the heavens. Eye gaze towards the ceiling and breathe in and breathe out 3 deep breaths. Hold that position. Now slowly reach overhead with your right hand and follow your head with your eye gaze to stretch your neck further and hold this in 3 deep breaths. Feeling that beautiful stretch on your right rib all the way down to your right hip. Now slowly go back to warrior position. Right hand and left hand level to your shoulders. More, bend your left knee further. And hold this in 3 deep breaths. Place your right hand behind the small of your back. Lift your left hand pointing to the heavens and hold this in 3 deep breaths. Further reach back if you can and open that left rib cage, your chest, and your left hip flexors. As you exhale, let's go back to warrior. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, let's go to the edge of the mat. We are going to grab the ball so we can do the deep Asian squat, especially for those who can't really go down without tilting forward and losing their balance. So as you inhale, exhale, roll the ball a little bit forward so you have space to lower your hips down. You might have your heels up elevated for beginners because of maybe some ankle tightness or stiffness, but try your best to really plant down your heels down to the mat. Hold on to the ball for support. My elbows are between my knees to open my hips to external rotators. So you can see like this and there. And you're gonna feel sometimes stiffness in the front of your ankles. So with the ball in front of you, you have something to lean on and rest for absolute beginners. And now in this position, we're gonna challenge your toe strength, your calves, and your ankles. So hold on to the ball. You might be very weak still to lift your heels up and down. We'll do this just 5 times. Inhale, exhale, lift, zip it up. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And now we can do the hip internal and external rotation. I know that's very difficult for most of you because of the tightness of your hips. So with the ball, this is perfect. I'm gonna do the diagonal so you can see how I'm gonna help. This ball will help you turn. So as I turn the ball to the left, I'm leaning my knee inward. So that's internal rotation. And then switch the other side. Now I'm twisting to the right as I tap my left knee down to the floor. So there's a little bit rotation in your lumbar spine, which is fine, but it's best is really on your hips. And then back center, inhale, exhale, internal rotate, and the other. So the ball will give you enough stability with a little bit rotation of your ribs for absolute beginners. Breathe in, breathe out. 3 more. 2 more. So I'm really progressing by letting go one hand. Last one. Well done. So now with the ball, we're going to do a little bit forward roll. So I'm rolling the ball away from me, stretching my upper back in a deep plank. Inhale and then exhale. This will help me get up to full standing. Engaging those deep hip muscles. Inhale. Zip it up, exhale, go back to Malasana or deep Asian squat. And then roll the ball forward. Breathe out. Inhale, and then exhale, roll the ball closer to you to push yourself up for absolute beginners. 3 more. Inhale, exhale, zip it up, and Malasana. down, Asian squat, push your ball forward. Inhale, exhale, push up. Feels so good on your hips, your back, your pelvic floor. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, deep squat. Roll the ball for support and a deep stretch. Especially with weak core, you ended up a little bit leaning forward. The ball is a great idea and support for you. Breathe in, breathe out, go up. Every breath is so important. It counts to help your pelvic floor and your deep core activation. 2 more. Inhale. Zip it up. Exhale down. Feels so good. You're getting stretch and really relieving pressure. Inhale. Exhale. Push. Pull the ball towards you to help you get up and breathe out. Last one, my friends. Inhale and exhale. Deep Asian squat. We're gonna hold it longer this time. We're gonna do some trunk side to side weight shifting to open your ribs. If you have scoliosis or anything like lumbar spine situation, it's good to stretch, especially the tighter area. You can spend a little bit, few more seconds on that area as you breathe in and breathe out. And now pull it closer towards you. And from this position, you're going to hug the ball towards you for support. So I'm really placing the ball between my knees and get your balance and hold this in 3 deep breaths, including that Kegel that we've been learning, the proper breath work, zipping it up. And then I'm slowly squeezing my knees in against the ball. So I'm going to feel that deep hip internal rotation and adductors strengthening. So I'm pulling the ball towards me, giving that isometric hold as I push my inner thighs towards the ball. So it's going to start shaking for a deep hip. Internal rotators, adductors, strengthening program. That's usually very weak with pelvic floor weakness. Breathe in, breathe out, squeeze for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, my friends. You're going to feel tired now. Inhale. And then exhale, zip it up. 10, 9. Your inner thighs, even your calves and your big toes are working hard right now to hold this balance. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Let go of the ball and slowly get up and sit on the ball to cool down further. I'm going to sit on the ball to rest, and then we're going to do gentle pelvic tilt in. As I zip it in, inhale to tilt back, forward, and back. 8 more. Feels so good to cool down properly on your pelvic floor muscles and your hips. 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. And now we'll do circles. I'm doing like a pelvic clock rotation with the ball, with my breath work and Kegels, together with really feeling the proprioception with the ball on my pelvic floor muscles. 5 more. 'And then reverse circles or reverse clockwork. 7 more. We're almost done, my friends. 3, 2, and 1. And that's it. I'm hoping you enjoyed my video 5, where we utilize the ball to help our deep squat or malasana pose to help your pelvic floor, your hip, internal, external rotations, and to help your glutes muscles to support your pelvic floor, your posture, and your deep core activation. And if you wanna learn more about Core Back Immersion and how to revive pelvic floor health core rehab, then sign up down below. You can see it in the description. Be part of the early bird waitlist for a first come first serve basis, as I will reopen it on January 27, 2024. If you're finally tired of all the sufferings of weak bladder, stress, urge incontinence, when you laugh, sneeze, cough, run, you can't control your bladder because of that weakness underneath us, then this program is just for you to fix that solution for good. Or if you're suffering from vaginismus, tightness on your pelvic floor because it's so weak, and you have muscle imbalance, you don't know how to connect it again safely from your postpartum, or even if you don't have postpartum, it happens when there's trauma, injury, or something that you can't explain why you're suffering from it, then I'm here to help you out. And you have back pain as well, because it happens as well for those with weak pelvic floor, deep core muscles. It's time to regain it back so you can finally live a functional pelvic floor. Postpartum complications from C-sections, diastasis recti, umbilical hernia, these programs are all safe for you. If you have time today, I would love you to start episode 1 first to learn how to do proper breath work so you won't make a mistake on engaging them. And episode 2 or video 2 is where we activate your core with the ball in different positions. I'll see you episode 6. Always remember, be safe, be well, and healthy you. Bye!